Crew is
It's
here.
Scotch.
Wait,
What's
going on?
4 dummies.
How you doing? Hey,
Bam!
Believe
Just
it?
like
I
that.
found the basement. He's been wandering for 2 months.
Wow.
Oh, my
Man.
God.
Sean,
So
Time
good
for
to have
sore
him back.
eyes, right?
I was out in the desert, I can tell you that. Yeah.
It's good to have you back. Cheers.
How you guys
friend.
doing? Cheers. Happy
See you.
Thursday
Cheers.
to you and to all of you. Good to see everybody.
So I show
All right.
up and there's something weird going on
What's
here.
that?
yeah,
what's
this
going
is
on?
weird. There's,
Ooh.
I don't know what's going on. There's the
Scotch
wrong
is
spirit on the bottom.
Scotch is expensive now.
Yeah, we switched.
So we need to be a little
I'm
more
out.
affordable.
I'm out, Jerry.
I'm out, Jerry. Well, so we had Jason on a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
And he's going to help get us into bourbons, right? We're not saying we're diving in the deep end of the pool and going to turn into bourbon for dummies, but we need to experience it. We need to understand it. We need to expand, right? So he walked us through, and I think he suggested 5 of these bottles.
He did.
Yes, there's 2 that are new here.
Which ones did he suggest?
These 2 and those 3.
So
So this,
we had the rare breed, Wild Turkey rare breed, 4 Roses single barrel, Maker's 46,
Mhm.
the
19
Old Forester 1910, and the Elijah Craig small batch. So those
That's
are because those give a kind of a wide range
right.
within the bourbon genre to get high
It
rise.
was a good-
there's
yeah,
weeded,
right.
there's a common, there's 4 Roses with there. I think this is a high rye. Is that the one that was high rye?
I think so.
Yeah.
See,
This
we
is
still
fairly high
forgot.
right
We already
now,
forgot.
but-
So we're still
yeah.
learning. But yeah.
He walked us through them, and it was fun. We learned a lot. Actually, it was a good exposure to it. But he's going to come back. I think he's
Cool.
coming back in 2 weeks, and
Yep.
we're going to go through. He sent some other samples too, and we're going to start diving into this stuff. I think
It's our journey. It's our bourbon.
between you and Andrew, you guys have more experience in
Yeah,
bourbon
they do.
than
I've
than
had
us
every
two.
bottle in this bar.
Right.
Yeah.
multiple.
Yeah, so this is the Scotch for Dummies Bourbon Discovery Series. Where
Right.
we're going to spend some time. We're not going fully to. It's not going to be bourbon for dummies on our shirts, but we're going to explore some whiskey too, some bourbon, just to kind of
And maybe once
Dip a
we
toe in.
dip a
maybe
toe.
once we've gotten wet with that, we dive into the other island over there, the Emerald Isle, and we bust into Irish. whiskey.
Irish.
There's a hell of a lot
I
more
would
Irish
actually-
distilleries popping up. So
like to do that. 'Cause
Yeah.
I've had some red breast lately. It's just amazing.
Yeah, there's some red breast
Yeah.
out there.
it's going to be fun.
Some
I
green
mean,
spot, yellow spot. Yeah,
Mhm.
those are good too.
obviously the thumbnail of tonight's video, everybody knows that I'm really not a bourbon fan, but at the end of the day, there's some good whiskey in these bottles, right? So let's
We're gonna try them
give them a
again.
good chance.
Well, I mean, it's like anything else. There's some Scotch distilleries that I don't particularly care for.
Right.
I can think of a couple off the top of my head that I just flat don't hate ever.
Let's
But there's a lot of good ones, and the same with bourbon. I mean, there's a lot of what I would consider like maybe some entry level bottles up on this bar.
Yeah.
But that's okay because they're mass produced. They're easy to find for the most part.
They're
that was
affordable.
key.
Uh,
That was key.
So it'll be interesting tasting through these with you guys and see what you like.
agreed.
I can tell you which one I like off the bar
So
already.
tonight, what we've got is Drew threw 2 others into the mix. So there's 7 bottles, but he's got 5 blind poured back
Which
there.
are
So
behind
5
here. We'll
of
move
these
in a
7
second.
have been poured. And then we're just going to go through them and we're going to try to see which ones we're going to rank them, how much we like them or not knowing what they are. And to be quite honest with you, yes, if you watched our show with Jason, we went through all this. I didn't go back and rewatch that show, and I sure as hell don't remember which one was which. So you could give me any one of these, and I'd be like, it's one of those.
So let's take a few seconds and say hi. Steve is on tonight. Steve A, one of our moderators. He did post a link to the cheat sheet. So if you want to follow along,
Yeah.
you can have that.
Do you
He'll
wanna
post
bring
it a
that up
couple
so I can
times.
see it? Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you go look in the comments, but
So let's say IC86 is saying, yay, 4 dummies again. Awesome.
On that note, you have been missed. People have been asking about you. When's Sean coming back? Where is Sean? What did you do with him? We didn't do anything with him.
it's a self-imposed exile.
It wasn't
Sort of.
really, something that I wanted to do, but it is what it is.
Something you
So,
had
It's
to
good
do.
to see it back here.
but it's nice. Hopefully, I'll be back on a more regular basis at this point. So
Trooper Henry says hi from rainy South Louisiana. He won a coin last
He
week,
did.
I believe.
Nice.
He did.
Yeah, we had some samples go out last week.
Yeah. We got Tom R on. Who else
Of
we got?
course.
Paul M.
M. Good evening.
That's right.
Yes.
Trooper.
Troopers. There's the conversations are going. Look
I
at
know.
that guy.
We
Hi,
got
Zach.
Zach, of course, Bobby J. The man, the myth, the legend is on.
What aisle is he
rabbit
in
hole.
tonight?
Oh.
I see Malt Minion.
Who else do we have right there? Stuff for Work, Sabrina.
Scotch Down Under.
Scotch Down Under.
The Cap is back. And
It's
of
nice.
course,
What's she got
Scotch
going
on the
Bayou.
She's got some kind of challenge she's getting ready to put out or something.
She is.
Nice.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, she's going to tease about it.
Man.
There's our boy, Bobby. All right,
See the
guys.
man.
So let's get
Wow, there's a lot of
into what
comments.
we really need to get into. But before we do that, I want to talk about something that happened since last Thursday.
Sure.
We had an interview on Sunday
Yes, we did.
with Kirsty, the founder of the Edinburgh Whiskey Academy. And if you didn't catch it live and you haven't caught the replay, I gotta say you need to go do it. I thought it was a really good interview. The content they're putting out, why they're putting out, who they are, what they do, how they're doing it, what they have in the future. A lot of good conversation, great questions. The people that did attend in the chat had some really good questions. It was engaging. Kirsty was an awesome guest. We've been given access to one of the single malt course, the Scotch malt.
How you doing, guys? Emergency at home. See you guys.
We got a pipe burst.
Uh-oh.
Okay, we'll see you in a bit.
And just like that, we're down to Scotch 3 dummies.
I own the back. Me.
We almost
Okay.
had all fours.
So the back of my shirt says "Welcome to the Shit Show." It really does. But anyway, back to this interview. Kirsty was really a good guest, and we talked about what they're doing and who they are and why they do it. And then at the end of the interview, she gave us a discount code. So on that video, if you go into the description of that interview, there's a 15% discount code. It was very well received from the folks that watched it. The comments are great. We're going to revisit. We're going to do a roundup with them in a couple of weeks to see how things went with that video and what's on the horizon. But they also are getting ready to launch an Irish whiskey course. And I'm actually very intrigued with that because it's getting launched out on a new platform. So it's a different content set sort of. And Irish whiskey is really starting to make a big rise. There, 10 years ago, 4 or 5 distilleries at most. Now there's like 40.
Yeah.
So it's like, whoa, what's going on over there? Maybe before it happens, let's get on that wagon,
Yeah.
So anyway, Edinburgh Whiskey Academy. If you guys didn't watch the video, go check it out. Great interview, fun content. They've actually got some free resources. They're free. Go check them out. It's worth downloading and reading. Education will help you appreciate this. And they are putting a bourbon course together. Obviously, they want to get into, American whiskeys and the American single malts. So be on the lookout for that. But with that being said, doing that segue into bourbon that they're going to be working on putting that course together, let's talk about how you want to do this, Droopy Doo.
I came home listening to it. Obviously, I missed the show, and that was a really good show, by the way. I really learned just listening to it, and Kirsty is so knowledgeable. She knows so much about what's going on.
Man, there's
And so
whiskey in that woman's blood.
I know.
I mean, honestly,
Her dad was
CEO of Glenmorangie, right?
so yeah. You know a little bit, right? You got a couple of contacts, maybe.
On her mother's side, they were distilling whiskey back in 1820 something. I'm like, well, that was illegal back then. So yes, she's definitely been
It's in her
around the
blood.
industry. Yeah.
It's in her blood.
Um,
It was a good show. I'm actually looking forward to the Irish stuff myself and maybe learn some other things. So it's going to be good.
I want to point out that we did that. Andrew and I pulled that out. Wow, without Drew. We came down into Drew's basement and we made that happen. And I'm just
They did a good job. They did call me prior, but that was a good
I'll
job.
bring to that. He called us. He was nervous.
I would have been nervous too.
Anywho, boys, so let's get down to business. We've got 7 bourbons up there. What do we have up there, Sean? We've got
So Elijah Craig small batch. I'm a big Elijah Craig
You
fan. Elijah Craig 12 was my go-to bourbon for a long time until they stopped making it, which we won't discuss what I feel about that. But Elijah Craig generally, I'm a big fan of. I just like the flavor of their whiskey. We've got the Old Forester 1910. Mark, how you feel about Old Forester?
You know what? We did go through this lineup 2 weeks ago, and that Old Forester was actually pretty enjoyable. It's definitely a good bottle. The Old Forester that you introduced me to, that was a 15-round heavyweight bout, right? And we took her down. We won.
Yep.
But to this day, I still kind of get a little chill when I think about it.
It's all good, man. I think Old Forester does some interesting stuff, and I like a lot of their bottles. So Maker's 46, Maker's Mark, they've been doing good, consistent whiskey for a long time.
The 46 is a step up above the regular Makers, right?
And I mean, it's got the iconic wax. It's very recognizable, I guess. No matter where you go, you know that's Makers. So yeah, well, but I mean, excellent marketing.
Perfect.
I mean,
you can't even do this.
Right.
You got to trim your
Yes.
your wax. You can't have the drippy, even if it's in a different color.
That's true.
Doesn't matter. So next up, we got Booker's. Booker's is interesting because it depends on the batch you get, but it's generally high proof stuff. This one looks like 62.35%. So, put your big boy pants on.
Country ham? Is that what it's called?
No, I don't know. They said country ham to some one of these other ones. Is that
country ham?
Country ham, 2019 batch 03.
Yep.
I thought they were just saying country ham because it tasted like
that's
country.
that's the name of it
Look,
right
dude,
there.
there's a ham
I
on
see
there.
that shit. Nah, I was in the back of the box.
Four Roses single barrel, which I do enjoy Four Roses. I have it at both of my restaurants. Actually, I have most of these at both of my restaurants.
Rum and Coke.
Yeah. I mean, Four Roses it's a good, solid, everyday drinker, man.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that one at all. You got the Wild Turkey Rare Breed, which I've had a couple of times before, but it's been a while. So I'm anxious to get through the lineup. And if it's not in one of these glasses, I'd like to try some.
Somebody in one of the comments just said something like about Michael Hassler said, I only like the Wild Turkey 101, a little Buffalo Trace. Michael, I can tell you this. 101, fine. Yeah, I appreciate it. But a couple weeks ago when we went through this Rare Breed, I remember that one standing out going, damn, that's a pretty good whiskey, man. It is. I would have never thought it was a Wild Turkey. Good stuff.
And then last but not least, Knob Creek, which is, again, a good, solid performer. It's 100 proof, so that's always nice. I actually have a couple of cocktails on one of my menus with that one.
With Knob Creek?
Yeah, and it's a good drinker, man. I mean, nobody complains about it. So I think all of these are good, solid choices. I wouldn't be embarrassed to serve those to anybody, really.
Yeah, I think you're right. And they're all readily available.
That's what I was going to ask.
I'm not sure, but this one, this is probably maybe gone. I'm not sure if they continue making these or not. It's popular.
The Bookers you will get, but it's just different batches.
Holy moly. Look at this guy.
Where is this guy?
Look at this guy.
Look at this dude.
I love this guy.
Wow.
We need to do a toast to this guy. It's
that.
been a while, Mr.
Well, I don't have anything in my
Guru.
glass, so we're going to have to
pour
either
some of
pour
this in
something
there.
or...
Yeah, we're sipping on Menagerie just before we get into the bourbon because I wanted to find something that was kind of middle of the road, kind of sweet. But
Good to see you, brother.
thank you for
Hope
the
you're doing
super
well.
chat. It's great
Staying
to see
busy.
you. Man, no kidding. I hope business is well with you coming out of this COVID world. I see everyone just logged in as well, so I want to say hi to.
Look at this. Dollar bills, y'all.
Oh no!
Love it. Cheers. Anyway, thank you for the super chat.
Cheers.
Cheers. Without further ado, let's get into this.
So yeah, there's 7
delicious.
bottles.
7 bottles, 5 have been poured.
Okay.
So obviously it's our gold, red, green, our colored Glencairn glasses.
Gotcha.
I think the moderators are posting it. They can probably post it a couple times
The
for
cheat
you.
sheet?
The cheat sheet is out there, so you can
Okay.
follow along as we drink through these. And then, guys, I mean, basically the idea here is just to be fair. Let's just,
We're just ranking these
on your own palate.
most liked to least liked on our
Yes,
palette.
1 through 5.
Right. We can talk through them though,
We
right?
can talk through them, and then because I have no idea what I poured either. And so, if you want to guess later on at the end, feel free. That'd be kind of fun. But let's just drink and see what we like.
I don't
Ooh, you
know.
got the big water picture.
You like that?
I do.
And just in case you want to,
Somebody cool got you one of those. You know what? There's a twin of it on the other bar whenever we make it back
sounds
to
like
my
we need to get
basement.
back there soon.
So there's that.
Okay,
So-
so heavy pours, right?
Yep. So let's start with the red one.
Okay.
They're heavy pours. 'Cause I
Yeah,
anticipated 4 guys.
instead of both of us starting, I'd rather just stay on one so we can talk through it because I really, honestly, guys, I'm not going to pay attention to the bottles. Obviously I know what they are, but I'm not going to revisit, try to guess as I'm going through. I really want to just rank these 5 based on my perceptions here, what I observe and what I experience. And then afterwards, I'm not even going to try to guess. I don't care. I'm looking forward to that reveal to just kind of be like, wow, well, okay, so that happened, right?
So it's got nice spice on the nose. Undertones of vanilla, not prevalent. And obviously the oak is a little more prevalent than it is in a Scotch.
Sure, I would expect that.
I think when we went through with Jason, he walked us through each one. And as we were walking through it, we kind of tasted through it, but he also read, he did some history behind it as well. So it also kind of made sense. So I'm looking forward to doing this completely blind, not knowing anything about what we're drinking and trying to pull out what we're honestly getting and nosing right out of the gate.
Right, without being
And I think
hand-led.
they're all, I don't remember correctly, but I think they're all kind of decent ABVs, right?
This
Or are
is
they lower?
This is nice. It's a little spice forward on the initial palate. Cinnamon and nutmeg. It fades to a nice like creme brulee, vanilla kind of thing going on. The oak is pretty steady throughout, but it's a nice glass of whiskey. No complaints on that one.
Pretty sure that's pretty high.
Wow.
It tastes a little warm, but it's not like, I would say it's maybe 100. It's in the 50s somewhere maybe.
See, so here's my issue.
lowest is
Without
47.
having the experience in the bourbon world, in the rye world, in the world. My mind right now is saying I smell rye. But I don't know if that's true or not, because I really haven't spent enough time to be able to label that smell and say,
he
that
did
is
say,
rye, right?
he did say what, rye licorice? Is that what he was saying? Like black licorice is kind of a rye?
That's usually what I get when there's rye.
And ginger. I think it was
I
ginger was
definitely
the
get
other.
your oak influence. Sure, that's there.
So this one is much milder on the spice notes.
So walk me through that again. What did you say in this one? You said it was spicy?
So that one's spicy on the nose and on the palate, especially the front palate. Cinnamon and nutmeg, but it kind of fades into like a vanilla creme brulee kind of thing.
Okay.
It's nice. This one is not nearly as spicy as that one.
What you got?
I think this one's really approachable. I think there's a lot of spice on the finish. And it's not alcohol burn. I don't know what the ABV is because it really did feel approachable. It didn't punch me. I was like, oh, wow. And I really swashed it around like mouthwash. Sweet, very spicy finish. Pretty pleasant. I have to, man, I need something to take notes on here. Son of a
You
gun.
want some?
Yeah, I do. Because I want to be able to rank these as I'm going and switch them around and move them. Huh. Wow. Well, that red glass really has a very long finish, man. That thing stays with you for a minute. It's still there. Okay. I see DB she's on too. Octomore for the win, says Kona J. And stuff.
Hey, this is a bourbon.
It is bourbon.
It's a bourbon.
It is definitely bourbon. All right. There's your little bit of rye influence.
Okay.
Right there.
So I've got cotton candy in the nose on the red.
I didn't know there was going to be a test tonight. Jesus.
You can't be wrong, my friend. You can't be wrong.
Even watermelon.
Wow, that's a good pull on that. On the nose?
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to get it on the palate, but that's a good pull on the nose. Okay, so gold. You write down gold here. So right now, red is my favorite.
You've only had that one.
Damn, why are you going to spoil it? Okay.
Well, that's peppery.
That's Sean, shut that shit down.
That's not even a thing. So this one, the nose is very light and
Oh, it is. It's
approachable.
hard to get anything
It's
out of it.
it's almost got just like a hint of sweet, but it's not anything over the top. But the palate is another
nothing
story
there.
entirely.
God, it's hard to get anything off the nose on this.
And this is really wood influence too. It's red. And pepper. Yep. All right. You guys are doing gold now?
Yep.
Wow. I got salt and pepper on that.
Keep them kind of spaced.
So I got so on the gold, I got that licorice that I always associate with some rye in the mash bill somewhere. It had a little bit of spice to it. Nice fruit cake on the finish, and the finish was decent. It was a decent finish, but to me, the nose and palate on the red lined up very well. Like what I smelled was what I got in the glass. The gold I didn't get. I wasn't prepared for the palate by the nose.
Neither one of them seemed to have an ABV kick to me.
Not really. No,
I thought they were both approachable.
They were very, very approachable.
The gold finish on me was actually a hell of a lot more salty than I really expected. And a black pepper note. Black pepper note did not hang on in the finish, and it just left me with a lot of salt on the tongue. Man, I wish I had the fruitcake that you spoke of. I didn't get it.
This one smells hotter. Just gonna throw that out there.
This
right
one
now.
smells hotter.
I'm just gonna guess. We're gonna say mid to high 50s, but maybe more.
So I don't even know what these bottles are on ABV, if you will, without looking at them. And I really don't care. This one's
almost not like those. I could get a good nose on. This one is hot enough that
It's
just
hard.
getting the alcohol.
I couldn't get a nose off of gold. It just was too light. I didn't get anything.
It's got.
I just took a drink of it. Let me see if I get a nose on it now.
It's got a hint of fruit in there, but it's hard to. It's just hard to get to.
So gold, I've got wood shavings and orange was on the nose for me.
Mm.
And the palate, I've got oaky. It's a short finish, but hints of chocolate and plums on the finish in
How are
gold.
you doing?
Really?
Hey, Everwin's on. Good to see you, bud. How's the boat?
Ahoy, mate.
Oh, the gold is nice. It's pleasant. It doesn't seem, neither one of those seem very hot, though. I mean, I know they're at least above 47, but nothing doing a Kentucky hug.
Ooh, yeah. This one comes at you with some alcohol vapor.
So you guys are on the green.
Yep.
I think this one's going to open up with water. I think this is going to be.
Put water on these yet?
No. And I'm not sure if I'm ready yet. Let's
You
just
wanna
wait.
keep 'em
Yeah,
on?
let's
Yeah.
wait. They're heavy pours, so let's
Okay.
just.
That's true.
That one's got a lot to offer. I'm gonna need a second sip of that one.
There's more underneath that nose. It's hard to get underneath that alcohol.
You're not gonna get underneath it from the nose.
Did you get any rye on the gold?
Oh yeah.
No, there's.
Maybe
Yeah.
that's what I'm getting too, like a little bit of. I'm
Yeah.
tasting it now in the finish a little
Yep.
bit. It's almost like the woody licorice.
This one's definitely wood. I get char wood underneath that.
So I got oak on the nose, but I also got some fruity notes. But then the palate is just, it's got all kinds of stuff going on the palate.
Wow. Okay, so green on the nose, hard to get past the alcohol vapor and burn. It's there. You got to work at it a little bit. But I got to be honest with you. For as strong as that smelt, I expected to be, watered eyes here and punched in the nose. Boy, did it go down like a freaking smooth, tall drink legs. Man, water's going to open that up. I'm excited to see what happens with green. Right now, you can just tell it's tight. There's some sweetness going on there. And there was a couple of aromas that I couldn't quite put my nose on because of the alcohol burn. But I'm going to rank the green right now amongst the other two in hopes of what happens in the water.
All right.
Because otherwise, I don't think it's doing justice. Right now, I would still give the nod to red, but I really think that green's going to blossom into
Green has some stuff going on the nose for sure. It's got like a lot of spiciness and
it's just hard to get to because of the
It's
ABV. So I got on my initial sip with green, I got some toffee, some like English toffee. I got green apple, I got cinnamon roll. I got black plum. There's some nice vanilla notes in there, and it's all just kind of layered in. It's a very interesting glass because it transitions to a lot of different flavors, and the finish goes on forever because of the high ABV.
But it doesn't burn like high ABV. You don't think this.
I will say the second sip that I did kind of hit me a little bit harder than the initial sip. I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. And it didn't hit me quite as hard. The second sip, I really wanted to kind of get into it a little bit more. Okay. And so I kind of swished it around a little bit, kept it in my mouth a little bit longer, and the high ABV kind of affected a little bit more.
Yeah. So second sip, coming back to the screen, now I can get into the nose a little bit more. I got to be honest, it's got much more of a classic bourbon signature on my nose after I've had a drink.
That it's super hot, and I'm having a hard time. It needs some water bad, I think.
Yeah, that one definitely needs water.
Because I'm getting kind of one-dimensional right now out of that, and it's mostly a rye for me, and wood chips.
Sweet. I just get sweet.
You just get sweet?
Yeah. But I'll tell you what, put water on that guy right now because we know it needs it.
I can hold some.
So, to me,
wow, that's
black
potent.
Is just a classic bourbon. It's what I think of when I think of having a glass of bourbon. It's got oak, it's got vanilla, it's got a little bit higher ABV. So it's got a little bit of a punch to it, but there's not like a bunch of different layers or different nuances. It's got that sweetness and the vanilla, and it's just very approachable.
Black is?
The black.
Did you water green?
Oh yeah.
All right, so let that sit.
I'm gonna let that sit.
This is like the green is like right now would be great in an old fashioned to me, which I think says rye, if I understand correctly. But
yeah,
like when I have old fashions, this reminds me of an old fashioned.
I'm twisted around rye the wrong way, to be honest with you, because I got to be honest. So my first experience with rye, long time ago, was to bring it back to Scotch would be like it's somebody that's never had Scotch and just getting their first one, being Lefroy 10 and being like, this is Scotch. And I'm like, oh, I'm done. Don't want no more of that shit. Right. It was a rye that just punched me in the mouth and the face. And I was like, I'm not a rye guy. Don't ever want to try it again. I'm done. And so now that's what I equate to. And that's not the experiences I'm having. So I can't wrap my arms around what it is.
I'm not a huge rye guy. Like if it's a rye whiskey, I have to taste these for work. And so I've gone through a ton of them, and there's some that I'm like, no. And there's some that I've come to appreciate, but I found that the people that like rye whiskeys, you're right. It's a lot like Islay Scotches. Like there are people that appreciate those flavor profiles. And so to them, they're looking for that stuff, right? And if that's just not your cup of tea, then
it's a bitterness.
You may not enjoy it. But I mean, that's a good glass. Don't get me wrong. I just don't think it has
this one.
Yeah, it doesn't have the complexity, but it's a well put together whiskey.
So it's a well-rounded.
You're right. To me, this is you blindfold me and put a glass in front of me, and I'm like, I got myself a pretty solid bourbon. All right. I can't tell you what it is. It's not wowing me. It's not saying, oh my God, this is great. But you know what? It's a decent whiskey. I'll enjoy it. I'll drink the glass, but there's nothing. It smells like bourbon. It tastes like bourbon. How's that?
I want to say hi to our newest patron, Wesley. He says, Wesley. Way to grow, Mark.
Oh my gosh. Is that Whizzle D?
It's Whizzle D. He's going to start getting some bourbons too.
I love you, brother.
I think Mood to Move has it right.
What's he saying?
And I think that rye is a widely varied experience, excellent all the way to horrible.
Yes,
and I would agree with that because I've had some ryes that I actually enjoyed and I thought were very nice, well done whiskeys. And I've had some that were just, they didn't come together very well. So I think that you get an experience with rye just like you do with any other whiskey.
I took one more sip of that black before I passed it to Drew. Small sip. switch it around, whatever, and it didn't go down right, really. And I gotta be honest, I got a little bit of a metallic taste on it.
Really?
I don't know where it came from. Maybe because it like almost went down the wrong pipe. I was like, okay, you know. But yeah, something jumped out being off on me right there at the end. You like that?
Mm-hmm. That's really good. Wow. That's delicious. I got coffee on the nose, sweet, and then the palate is definitely sweet.
You get coffee?
Uh-huh.
Quit looking at the color of the glass.
Oh, okay. No, I smell coffee.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Shit.
Smell it now. You smell coffee now? I mean,
I'll
open
be
back
damned,
coffee.
man, if that's not Black Rifle coffee.
Right?
You're a dick. Nothing like the power of suggestion. Right. The metallic taste is the White Walker Drew used to wash the glasses. Yes, Tom. I think you're right.
Oh, I like black.
Boys, I fear we've
Black
been
is
stymied.
Is right here black?
Yeah.
I get custard, caramel, and a nice finish, actually. Almost, it's very well rounded.
I mean, it's,
Really?
it's a good everyday drinker.
Okay.
Like there's nothing to me. It's very approachable. It's a very good whiskey. I don't get layered complexity to it,
No.
but it's good from start to finish. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He's fine. Well, I mean,
Okay. What do you got there? Numero cinco
Got where?
in your Uh-oh. I think we just found the new number one. So hang on, I got to take my notes on black. So black.
All
what
right.
you got there, Sean? You got
So-
blue?
So I've got blue. So this one has some nice sweet notes on the nose, like cotton candy and some burnt caramel notes to it. So it kind of runs the gambit on the sugar. So it smells sweet, but it's got some nice like Christmas spice in there. You take a sip, and it's just a nice it's got a good mouthfeel. Like a dessert, basically, like a creme brulee or something where you're dipping in. Not necessarily thick, but coating, and it's just got a good all around flavor profile, like you're drinking dessert.
Mark, you got a question here. Oh, no. Where's that? Right there.
Mark, are you back 100% from Rona? I'm going to say no. I'm going to say I'm back enough to be able to feel comfortable enough to do this. I don't think I'm getting anywhere near the amount of perceptions that these guys are getting. And I freaking hope I get back to that because I miss it. But no, I'm not quite there. I lean on these guys a lot. And maybe it is the power of suggestion. But to me, right now, I need that. And I think it's going to help train me back to where I need to be. I still have a training kit, a nosing kit at home. Working on it. We'll see. Because I'll tell you what, Drew's notes right now are a hell of a lot more descriptive than mine.
Well, and I think it's interesting. It'll be interesting to see if it's, I don't know if it's necessarily the power of suggestion, because there's definitely times even before
True.
the Rona broke out that, you would pick a note out, or I'd pick a note out, and, you would call that aroma or that flavor out, and everybody's like, "Oh, I didn't put those two together." But
That's exactly it.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah. You find yourself kind of in a midst of something like I don't know what that is, and somebody pinpoints it, you're like, yes, that's kind of what it is.
This one has the characteristics of American single malt to me, not bourbon. And I said it because it doesn't come at me with that corn forward. Oh, there's a bourbon.
It's hot.
No,
So it's not.
No,
it's not. It's not hot. It's very approachable. Like you could put that whole glass down without really thinking about it.
and it's a big pour. My gosh, man, I want to go to that guy's spot.
The hottest thing that I think we've had so far that feels like it's hot was the green. Yeah.
Yeah. Everything else has been very
Approachable for the most part. Nothing
Well,
really super hot.
I mean, so of the ones that you've got up there, I know Booker's is
There's a
up
couple
there
hot
in,
ones.
in ABV.
Is
Booker's,
that watered down already?
But
the rare
like,
breed is I can't remember.
but Knob Creek's 100.
So
This is 56, the rare breed.
okay,
Makers is 47.
46. Yeah.
I think this is 47. The old Forester actually is
thank
only
you, Tom.
46.
I will say,
5, so
here's what's helping. Back to Bob J's question. When it comes to my nose, I have a hard time breaking into exactly identifying what I want. After I take a sip of it, I come back. Now I can start getting in there, right? And it makes sense.
Pass her back.
Nose.
We're talking.
Hang on. This, I question whether this is watered down. Is this 40%?
I do not water anything.
It's smooth
Seriously?
as hell.
I mean,
I hate to use the S word,
yeah,
but
you're
smooth.
absolutely right. I'd kick this thing back and be like, let's roll, boys. I mean, Frank the Tank, it's so good when it touches your lips. Um,
Yeah.
mm-mm. I gotta say though, I think it's lacking. It's not giving me what I want. It's not enough. And
It's got bubble gum on the nose.
if I'm gonna liken it to anything, because I don't know that much, wow, it's really sweet coming back. God, is it sweet?
Mm-hmm. I told you it's like eating dessert.
It's freaking. I feel like I just took a shot of maple syrup almost. I'm like, that's the aftertaste I think I would get after taking a tablespoon of maple syrup. Maybe I don't know enough to appreciate it. Then we'll say that. It's not ranking high on the top 5. I'll give you that hint.
It's got some spices. Oh, what is that? I guess it's vanilla, maybe.
Madagascar vanilla.
Bubblegum syrup, vanilla on the nose.
Bubblegum. I never
Okay,
thought
so-
about that, but yeah.
So let's as you finish Blue Up, let's take a TO. Let's take a TV timeout. Give all those. Did we water
Wow.
these down yet?
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's really good.
Wow. We're off base. Dun dun dun. dun. Okay, so are these water?
Marshmallows, caramel. It's creamy.
Yeah. It's like,
So-
it's like dessert.
All right, we're gonna take a TV time. Are these watered down?
Buttery.
Are they watered
The,
down?
the green got water, didn't it?
That's the only thing
Let's
got water.
let's go ahead and
You want to add some water?
yeah, let's add some water because I want to take the TV timeout while
Where'd
we
the,
let these the pipers right here. Pipette. Let these do what they need to do after you put a couple drops on them, and let's talk about this and compare notes. I think this will be fun because
Vanilla cream.
I think you guys are going to see that I'm obviously not
How much water did you put on
not
there?
quite ready for Friday
Quite a
night
bit.
fights. No, you're not, Bob. Bobby J, you're not. Anybody that tells me Bob Hammond says that kind of stuff all the time. Well, I can never get the perceptions
Speed
you guys
ramming
get out
here.
of class. That's bull. You guys can.
You can. You just have to let
It's-
yourself go and just let your mind wander.
Let it wander and start blurting it out. You're like, oh, that's freaking.
Nothing is right or
Cheerios.
wrong.
And do it with friends. Do it with others to either validate or
and honestly,
contradict you.
We're at a beginner's level, honestly.
Yeah, I mean,
Like-
I say stuff. It's like that's what I think, but it doesn't mean it's anything right.
Yeah.
I'll take a time
But it's
out.
right for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's the perception that you get off the glass.
I'm
We got-
going back to menagerie for this one.
We got a little
because
super chat here, guys.
God love you, D.
Just
Cheers.
because I'm happy to be with
here.
y'all.
And
We're happy you're here
happy
too.
You're here too, absolutely. And we're happy this guy's here.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
I'm gonna have a couple
That
pretzels in
menagerie's
between
delicious.
here, just
Yes, Tom, I'm working tomorrow,
to.
but I'm off the next 10 days.
cook the
10
palate.
days.
Going to Maine, dude.
Oh, that's right. I
Yeah.
forgot about
We're
that.
disappearing, man. We're
Hey,
getting off the
speaking
road.
of that,
Oh, yeah, this is a good time. So while we're taking this TV time out to let these breathe a little bit, let's talk about next week's show or lack thereof. And what's happening next week is sort of a dark week for Scotch for Dummies. Out of town,
vacation.
working. And if he's not working, he's working on his backyard deck project.
I'm not working on that.
Paying someone to do that, right?
Right.
Damn, that's why you work so hard.
I don't have that kind of time.
So anyway, moral of the story is next week we are not doing a live show, patron or regular, because we're out. Drew's working on content, pre-recorded reviews or beginner's guides, if you will, that we've got. So there will be content hitting the page, the YouTube channel, but we will not be doing a Thursday. The following Thursday, which I guess would be the 14th.
I don't know what it is.
13th.
That sounds about right. 14th.
The 15th.
15th. All right, let's stay out. So the 15th, July 15th, we will be back, and we will have Jason from Mash and Drum back on the channel.
Yep.
He sent some samples. When he sent us, and we did the walkthrough of these bottles, he actually sent a bunch of samples. We really didn't get into them, and I'm glad we didn't because Sean wasn't here. So now we've got the samples. We're going to go through those with him and see where we go with our next discovery step of bourbon. So next week, guys, is a week off for Scotch for Dummies. I hope
Enjoy the 4th.
Yes, happy 4th of July. Do that. Come back with 10 fingers and toes and 2 eyes and all that good stuff.
Point it away from your face.
Yeah. If you're inclined to blow shit up, that's great. Go blow it up. I'm not that guy anymore.
I do want to take a second and say hi to I Wish You She Wines, good friends of ours.
Gosh,
I don't know if you followed or not, but they had a little bit of a scare last week.
What happened? I didn't know.
Yeah, she actually had some hospitalization, but she's doing well now. So glad to have her back.
Good.
Bobby had a great live show and talked about it. So if you didn't catch it, go check out his show. But she's doing well. I'm glad to have you back, and good to see you guys on the show. Glad to have you.
I need to get caught up. I feel caught off guard that I don't know what's going on. So after the show,
I'll tell you about
it. I'm glad you're here, though, and I'm glad to hear that everything's okay.
Everything's great. They're good.
That's what's important.
It's good to see you.
Yeah, it's great to see you.
All right, so we watered this down.
We watered this down. We give this a chance, and let's compare our notes a little bit.
Okay.
I'm very curious to see.
Do we want to?
Do you have some kind of ranking right now?
I don't care about ranking ranking right now. I don't know if I can. I mean, I can, but my ranks aren't 1 through 5. My ranks are like 1, 1.5, 2.
Of all of them, Green had the most still on the table.
Potential.
And needed water to open up a little bit. All the other ones were very approachable. Like you could drink them straight right out of the glass at cask strength or bottle strength.
Agreed.
They were very good. I would say if I had to rank them right now, I would probably say that's tough, man. Because Green, I think I'm leaving a bunch on the table, but I would probably go before water, blue, green, red, black, gold.
Holy shit, we are all over the board, kids. Yep. Drew, you go next because I think you might be more in line with him than me.
I'm not ready to put a significant order down. But I will tell you that as of right now, I agree with you. I'm excited to see what Green has because it was too hot for me to really get anything out of it.
Yeah, I got superficial notes, and that was all.
Exactly. So I'm gonna wait to see what happens and see where that places. Right now, it's in the middle. I think black and blue are kind of tied for number 1. I really like both of those. So I'm not sure where those two stand out above and beyond right now compared to what I had. Okay. I like my notes on red and I like gold, but I'm curious to see what water does to them. So I don't have rankings yet, but black and blue are kind of a little higher than the others.
That's interesting to me because I think that of the ones up here, to me, the blue and the black had the least, I guess, variation. They were very similar throughout their flavor profile, but I enjoyed both of their flavor profiles. Yeah. To me, I think I like the sweeter style on the blue. Mark, what'd you have?
I'm getting ready to blow this shit up, you guys. I'm the complete exact opposite. Black and blue is what Drew is really liking. My notes on black and blue: simple, bourbon, sweet, smooth, not much more. That was my notes from both of those glasses.
And now you know why he's on the thumbnail.
I didn't. So those are his top 2 right now, and those are the 2 that I'm going. Would I drink them? Sure.
Which ones?
Drink them. Black and blue.
Blue and black.
Would I drink them? Would I go and buy a bottle of them? No, because they didn't give me anything. I mean,
it's exactly opposite.
Yeah, I am completely on the other.
I'm going red.
All right. So these have all been watered.
Yep. So I had, let me tell you what, I had cotton candy and watermelon on the nose last time.
I want to resmell this because I didn't get any watermelon last time. I'm
Watermelon,
anxious to see
you
if
said.
that's
Is that seedless or?
Really?
one of those yellow ones.
Yeah, I would say they're still there. It's not nearly as sweet as it was.
George and Steve, everybody's gonna start laughing at me. It is what it is. I'm just gonna call it, you know. All right, so revisiting red.
Wow, that's a bourbon for sure, though. I mean, it's potent. It held the water, no problem at all. Wow.
These are heavy pours. Did
Actually,
you
I
water
think
them
it got
enough?
stronger. Is that possible?
Did
Yeah.
you water them enough? These are heavy pours.
Well, he watered those.
Okay.
Only I
Yeah,
watered his green.
Okay.
I hit him with a whole
Okay.
dropper full each.
Yeah, because that's a
So I get your watermelon, but it's like watermelon gum.
Yeah.
It's like artificial
It's like
watermelon.
cotton candy. It's just sugar, right?
I love
It's like artificial. But there's not, the palate is like all bourbon, syrupy.
It smells hot.
It tastes hot. Like
and it's watered down.
I didn't have that hot at all the first time. I think it got hotter. I don't know how.
Give me this. So you said hot? My notes say approachable.
No, do it now. That's what I'm saying. Something's happened.
It wasn't bad on the palate. I didn't think it was too bad.
Ooh, man.
It held
this
up.
Smells rich.
All of my notes that I took for it with, before the water still apply. It didn't. I don't really get anything different out of it, but it's nice.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I could definitely drink it.
I had pepper, wood, and oaky on the palate before. I need another sip again.
I think the finish might be a little bit shorter now with the water added, and the oak note on the finish kind of comes forward a little bit more than it did prior.
I'm getting a little bit more of that rye note.
What's the rye note?
I know. That's what I think is a rye note.
You're getting a little bit more of that. I don't know what this is note.
That's what we're pulling.
Yeah.
We're pulling a lot of
I
that.
don't know what this is. No, that's what I'm getting, guys.
I will say that I thought prior to adding water, this one had a nicer, longer finish. To me, the flavors are still there, but the window that you get to taste them has kind of shrunk a little bit. You know what I mean?
Wow. So it stayed approachable. That was my first note.
It's bitter now.
That
a little
was
bitter.
A little bit bitter. And I lost the complete spicy long finish that I had. And from a spicy long finish, I have a really sweet long finish now. The water took the spice and made it sweet. I got the spiciness a little bit on the nose.
I was gonna say, do you get the spiciness at all? Because I get the spiciness on the finish, but it's not as
all I got
long.
was sweet. Wow. So that really
nose
changed
and gold
it.
is just like, what did I have before? I had wood shavings and orange. Okay, wood shavings is still there.
Water turned red sweet to me.
No more orange. This wood shavings faint.
Talk to me, Goose. Where'd you go? I'm still gonna give you movie.
Wow,
quotes,
that's
even though there's not
a
movie
fresh wood taste. Like French oak, maybe. A dry finish now. I have a dry finish. I didn't have that before.
Steve A, we might have a Maker's 46 in this lineup. Maybe not cast strength though. So you're stepping it up a game.
A little bit of creme brulee. A little bit.
It feels like the spice and the licorice notes kind of step forward now, and some of the sweetness and like the fruit cake and things like that I was getting before are kind of more in the background on this one. I don't think I like that one as well as I did neat.
He's getting ready to start quoting some Megadeth. Awesome, dude. Let's rock out.
I was talking about Megadeth
So
tonight.
I had last time I had
Mustang fan.
hints of chocolate and plum. I did not get that with water. No, not at all.
No.
A dry finish. Well, creme brulee, I guess, is kind of.
I still don't get much of a nose. Gold is just dead on the
I
nose.
guess you could
to me,
call
guys.
hints of chocolate with that.
There's whatever notes you guys get out of gold obviously aren't hitting my receptors because I'm not getting shit on gold.
On the nose.
Yeah.
The nose was very
Nose is
restrained.
faint.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not. there's
I
not
didn't get
of
much on the nose at all.
I'm going with, so far, it's my last place bottle. So far.
Yeah.
All right, gold. Now, this one, I'm looking forward to this one because we added a ton of water to this one.
I'm hopeful. It's either going to be amazing or it's going to be
Ooh,
not.
ooh, ooh, ooh. There's your chocolate milk duds right now.
Milk duds. All right. Fair enough.
Oh, that's totally milk duds.
Thanks, Steve, for drinking something that we don't have.
Mm. It's there,
Oh.
it's there in the palate too.
Oh, hey, how you doing?
Ooh. That's still freaking hot. Damn. That's a good bottle. Whatever that is.
Oh, that's very approachable now.
It's better than it was.
It's still got some of the alcohol, but it's got
That is a chocolate lovers, like not like super chocolate, but caramel and chocolate and creamy.
yeah, it's got the caramel, it's got dark chocolate, it's got some fruit notes like dark stone fruits like plum. There's a nice spice to it. There's a hint of licorice,
Yep.
but it's not
very-
overpowering.
That's the rye. I bet.
It's
Just a
like
little-
as a seasoning, basically. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? It kind of rounds out everything and brings it all together. That's a real nice glass.
I like green a lot.
Green's very good.
So far, it's my
All right.
third place.
All right, so now we're coming into the home stretch, man.
We
These
are.
are two
So great.
We got to
favorites.
catch up there, buddy.
So, no, I was just looking
Oh,
something up. I
wow.
wanted to get the name right, but we're talking Megadeth, man. You guys like mechanics? It's
Don't get him started. Who started him on music?
It's
Oh,
you guys
jeez.
got to try it. Oh, gold's coming to me,
Wow,
babe. I
this
mean,
is
green
insane.
is my green's it, dude. If you don't
It's
pick
really
green,
good.
if you don't pick green,
Keep
That was
going.
my second before. Why are you talking? Come on, you got to drink.
Oh man, that coffee is
Puff,
even better.
puff, give.
Dark. This is
sweet. A
dark
lot of
chocolate coffee.
vanilla, a lot of oak influence here.
You're messing up the rotation.
I'm getting there, man. You slow down.
oh,
Don't
this
be
is
like the
delicious.
freaking the Mexicans in Friday.
Puff, puff, give.
It's PCP, man.
Wow, that is delicious.
If green wasn't your number one, it is now.
No, it's not.
Absolutely.
No.
I had wow written down the last time. I'm going wow this time.
That's got some stuff going on with it. That's like a Bunnahabhain to me. That's got some characteristics of a, if you, whatever this is compared to Bunnahabhain 12.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Black?
Black came in at a 3 on my first go around. You think it's gonna make a jump?
I don't know. It's good.
It's gonna.
That's really good.
You think it's coming out of there?
So
Yeah.
for me, black is a good.
Wow. I, would love
I
to have
thought
12.
this
I don't
neat,
have
and
it.
I think of it with water too, that it's just a really good, solid, everyday bourbon.
No, Bunnahabhain
Um,
18, not 12. 18.
It's got some nice vanilla sugar, brown sugar,
Concentrated
oak.
sugar.
Yeah. But it's nice, concentrated, but it holds the same flavor profile throughout. So the front palate, the mid palate, the finish are all very similar.
My Whiskey She Wines just got done jamming out to our latest album like yesterday.
Hey, we're
I
drinking
love
Scotch,
it.
not talking music.
Love it.
That's a different channel. It's on Discord.
All right, I'm going in for blue. Get your black on. I think you're gonna like that, Mark.
I just get a lot of vanilla, a lot of, I mean, oak, not a spicy note on it.
No more bubble gum. Let's go.
Maybe starting to wade into the world of tapioca.
I don't know if I got tapped.
I don't get any spice at all.
No, it's pretty approachable on the nose. There's not a whole lot going on, really.
This is waxy now. I got like. Do you remember those waxy?
Like the pop bottles?
Yeah. What were those called? Wax top.
Yeah, I don't remember.
That's what I'm getting
soda
those.
bottles or whatever.
So
Waxy.
this one was much more cloying. It was much more of a dry drink. And wow, is it spicy on the after finish? Is that a thing? Not the finish, but
like later when you think it's done.
10 seconds after the finish is done and you think it's all gone, you're like, oh shit, what's on my lips?
This nose is very enjoyable. I like the nose.
I would say out of all 5 of these, that's the most approachable one.
Mm-hmm.
Even the palate, it doesn't wow you, but I would say as the most well-rounded one we have, it's that one. From nose to palate to finish, it's a really good whatever it is.
Yep.
I think Black's making a pretty good fight.
That's
Not even
delicious.
high, that's good.
Yep.
God, Black just leaves a very strong, spicy finish on my tongue.
I think the blue, the water brought out a little more spicy note to it. Prior to the water, it was a lot more sweet. It's still sweet, but I get a little bit more of like a peppery ginger kind of thing going on. That just makes it a little bit spicier. It kind of catches your attention a little bit more. Whereas before it was just all like vanilla, creme brulee, very desserty. But I will say with both, before and after the water, the mouthfeel on that one is very full. It's an enjoyable drink.
I think overall, I'm interested to know. I'm actually really curious to know what I poured because I don't remember. But whatever that one is, out of all of these, that is, I think, the best bang for your buck. Hopefully, I don't know how much that is, but
You're saying blue?
I think blue is a really good nose to palate to finish.
God,
from
man, we are
neat
so
and with
far.
water.
We are like polar opposites here, man. We're getting ready to lose subs. Honestly, guys, on the nose, I get like a dirty sink.
Dirty
What?
What the hell is a dirty
shitting
sink?
you. I go put your nose in your sink and you tell me.
It's a garbage disposal. What you're saying.
I'm not getting that. It's just there's
the nose is not. I mean, it's not like that's why I said it's not like blowing me out of the water. It's just well rounded from nose to finish. It's nothing like
okay.
amazing. It's just good. It's like an everyday sipper.
Well, it's one of those that you don't have to think about. You don't like. It's good. It's got basic complexity, but it's got all the things you're looking for, and you can just sit there and drink it and enjoy it. You don't have to overly complicate things by like analyzing it and picking it apart.
Exactly.
It's just good every sip.
All right, Mark.
Look, guys, I drink it. I wouldn't pour it out. It's not a White Walker, but I'm missing the boat here. It's not. I'm not getting it.
Get your numbers out. I'm gonna go ahead and go.
Okay.
Time. All right. So here's the deal, guys. I'm gonna go.
We got 30 seconds.
We're all right. We're gonna run over. My number one is going to be. I really appreciate blue, but I'm going with black. I really like what black has to offer. I like the coffee. I like the dark chocolate. I like the caramel custard I got neat and with water. I think that one for me has a little bit more pizzazz than anything else here. My number 2 favorite is going to be the blue. I think because I'm a bourbon noob. I don't know enough about this to appreciate anything yet, but I like what blue has with water and without, just from the nose to well-roundedness of it. I could drink that, no problem. My number 3 is going to go green. I think the water definitely helped it. My guess is probably Booker's is my guess because it's so hot in that. I think there is more of an old-fashioned quality to it, and milk duds. I like that kind of chocolate notes to it.
He said milk duds.
Yeah. My number 4, I'm going with red. I think it was better neat than with water.
I would agree with that.
I think it had more characteristics with neat without water. So I don't know what it did, but I think water hurt it. And then my last place is going to be gold. I think overall, I wasn't impressed with it. I think to me, it had more of a dry finish, rye finish to it. And this didn't really appeal to me as much.
Reread that.
So black, blue, green, red, gold.
All right. Mine's going to be very similar to yours.
Okay.
So the green, I think I want to sit and play with it a little bit more, but it's not quite my number one. So I enjoyed blue the best.
Really? Okay.
I thought that it generally had just good. To me, bourbon is a sipping beverage. I don't want to sit there and pick it apart. I'm just gonna pour it and have a glass and have a conversation with somebody, or just sit and enjoy some music or something. I don't want to think too hard about it. And to me, every sip I took of that, I'm like, I can go back and have another sip of that. That seems great. So blue to me was just approachable. There wasn't anything that was like off-putting about it. There wasn't anything weird. And it was good, neat, and with water. So blue's my number one. I'm going to put green at number two. I thought that it had like, so neat. It was obviously hot, but my first sip of it was like, wow, I really like this whiskey. But I never got that wow factor on the second sip. And I think that's why I dropped it back down. So I don't know if it was just, the alcohol kind of deadening your flavor receptors a little bit. But I just didn't get quite the flavor profile that I did on the second sip. Yeah. And even with water, it had complexity. It had good layers. It had a lot going on, but it just didn't. I couldn't get back to that wow factor that I had on the initial sip. So that's my number two. I kind of struggled with number three, but I think I'm going to go with black. It was just a good everyday sipper. It had all the good qualities that I look for in a bourbon, and it had continuity throughout the sip. So, you took it and the flavor profile kind of stayed with you and let you kind of enjoy it a little bit. Red was my number four. It was kind of tied for number three. I enjoyed that one. It had a lot of stuff going on with it. It was a little bit spicier, I think. And so I kind of dropped that down just a little bit. It just wouldn't hit me quite right tonight. And then gold was my number five. And I think that it stood out a little bit more with the licorice flavor. And sometimes that hits me and sometimes it doesn't. So it wasn't a bad glass. I enjoyed it, but it just wasn't quite up there with the rest of them.
We're kind of close.
I don't think we're as far off as I thought we were. Maybe when it comes to the first, number one or whatever. But you and I are probably off more than anybody. But my first one, Drew, that's you and me. My first
There's only
one,
three of us.
Yeah. I didn't know if you guys got who I pointed to. So green was my first one. And I put green down because I honestly, neat. I literally wrote down, wow, yes, hot, but I got a lot of charred oak on it. And I got a sweetness in the back end of it. After we watered it, I got, with some water, I got a little bit more spice that came out of it. I just think that green gave me more. It gave me more to enjoy. It gave me more to think about. It gave me more to chew on. It gave me more to want more, as you will. It brought me back. Black did make a surgence. It was not my number one or two after neat, but after putting some water on it, I do think it came back around, and I do think that it offered me more. Water opened it up a little bit more, and I got to be honest, guys. All five of them have a sweetness thing. It is what it is. It's bourbon. It obviously you that oak is going to bring out that vanilla and that sweetness, and I get it. But it did overtake my third place, which was red. And red, was approachable, but it had I really liked the spiciness of it. Water tamed the spiciness down just a little bit, which did I care for? I liked the spice note. But the water made it even more enjoyable, if you will. It was okay. It was good. So third was red. Then I put gold. I put, and even after water, my problem with gold is I just didn't get much out of the nose. It was like, nose, where are you, nose? Nose, where are you? I didn't get it. But I got a strong salt and black pepper note on the palate / finish. Of course, the finish, the black pepper wafted off, and it was just all salt on my tongue. But blue, I just don't. I feel like I'm missing the boat with these guys on blue. I'm like, what the hell am I not getting that you loved out of blue? I'm not getting it. I want it. I want some of that, but where is it? I don't know.
I want it.
We got different glasses on. I don't know. So blue
So
was
what's
my
your
last
number
place.
one is what?
So I got green, black, red, gold, blue.
Really? You put blue last. Okay. So do you want to call, is there anything here that you want to call out that you think it is? We got 7 bottles, 5.
I honestly, I have absolutely no freaking clue. I will say maybe if I'm going to take one shot in the dark, I'll say green is Booker's because I think that's the highest.
I agree
proof
with
one.
you. I think it is. I think it's Booker's too.
I think that's probably Booker's. I think this is Elijah Craig.
Green or blue?
Blue.
Blue is Elijah Craig, you're saying?
Oh.
Okay, fair enough.
Black, I'm not sure.
I think
I could be wrong. On
I
all
think
of them.
black is Old Forester, and I think blue is rare.
Really? I loved Rare 2 weeks ago.
Well, let's find out.
And I think red is Elijah, and I think gold is.
Sure, poured him. He's cheating.
Well, I really don't
I'm
remember.
kidding.
I know. I can tell you this much. I know it's not Knob Creek, and I know it's not. That's why I know. I can't remember which one he's. I know it's
You
not
skipped
Creek.
another one.
I did, but I can't remember what it is. I really don't know.
All right.
So let's
All right,
pull
so
up.
Let's go look at this.
I'm gonna
cheat
pull
sheet.
up the
We're
cheat
going long,
sheet.
guys, but we're not going to be on next week, so it's fair. It's okay.
I'm gonna
We
pull
got
the cheat
Sean.
sheet.
Shit.
Yeah, man.
I'm
I
gonna
got like
share it.
6 weeks to make up for, right?
Yeah.
So let me share the screen, and we'll share it together.
We do have a winner, Steve A.
Okay, here we go. The answer key. Let me
That's
see
a
if it's
sad
sharing.
picture.
It is a sad picture.
Look at that. There it is, blown up in Word. Okay,
Do it.
here we go. So, red is
Okay.
Maker's Mark. Old Forester is blue.
Oh, shit.
No kidding.
All right.
Elijah Craig is gold.
Really?
Booker, we all knew Booker's was green.
Yeah.
Rare Breed was black.
Okay.
Rare breed was black.
Dang. So I
So
said.
I'm on point.
So you said black was your favorite?
Well, no, I said Booker's was my favorite because we didn't have that
That's
2 weeks
just
ago.
funny,
But Rare
man.
Breed was my favorite 2 weeks ago. I'm staying true blue, Tom.
So
I'm following you.
If I remember
Alright.
correctly, I think I went black, then I went blue.
No, you said blue was number one.
No, I black, blue,
Really? Okay.
and then I went green was 3, so I went Booker's, and then I said 4 was Maker's Mark, red, right? Yeah, and then gold, which is 5, Elijah Craig.
That's funny.
I gotta be honest, I'm disappointed with my perception of the Old Forester
Interesting.
1910 because 2 weeks ago when Jason walked us through this, Sean, I actually I enjoyed that Old Forester 1910. It's a good bottle. In this lineup, it just didn't fare well with me. I don't know why.
It's funny because normally if you throw Elijah Craig in any lineup for me, that's the one I usually pick out. And I'm usually
What did you
pretty
pick up today?
solid.
What was your number?
Where was- yeah.
Old Forester was my number 1.
Oh, really?
So I went Old Forester,
Okay.
Booker's, Rare Breed,
Yep.
Maker's Mark, and then Elijah Craig was
Oh,
my
you put
last
the Elijah
place.
Craig last.
Yep.
No
Interesting. It's
shit.
been your favorite. Well, the
But
It's
it's
just-
been a while since
well,
I've had the small
And
batch.
this is the core range. I don't want to say bottom of the barrel, right? But this is the most. I mean, look, dude, this is the 175 bottle because that's all
Right.
Drew could find. I mean, so I'm not surprised that you might not gravitate towards that EC.
I'm used to the Elijah Craig.
Right? I get it.
I miss the Elijah
Yeah,
Craig.
so-
12.
Bobby says this is the best standard Booker's to come out in several years. I think I don't know anything about Booker's, but I can tell you right now, it's delicious. That was
Yeah.
that was a gift from me from work actually. Oh, what's this?
Oh,
Oh, we got another one.
are you kidding me?
Colin and I, UK bound at 7 hours.
Dang,
God,
man.
love this
I
guy.
want to get on his.
We miss
plane,
you, man.
Dude,
We miss you.
Are you hiring? Come on.
Cheers, brother.
I'm gonna
Cheers to
pick up this
you.
glass of
Safe
blue.
travels. Hope everything's well
Hey,
with you.
I'm going with black.
All right, cheers.
Cheers. Thank
Mm.
you.
Mm.
He's living the life.
He is. Good for him.
That old
So,
Forester's tasty.
what do y'all think about our bourbon blind? I mean,
Somebody put me your rankings. You guys put. I want to see in the comments how you would rank these just from what you know. Whether it's you don't have them in front of you, put the colors down that you guys prefer. Steve A, you know who I'm talking about. You bourbon drinkers out there. I Whiskey She Wines. You guys that are familiar with all of these bottles. If you had to rank them right now, how would you prefer them?
I think rare breed is going to get a lot. I think a lot of people really like that. I got to tell you right now, is that my number one?
What
That's a
color
good
was
glass.
that? What color was
I think that was
Black.
Black. Yeah,
That was
I
black.
liked it.
I had it ranked too, and I loved it best when we did with Jason. I mean that
It really stood out with Jason tonight. It stood out to me because it's the coffee. That's what it was. Such a unique taste to it. And I'm gonna tell you right now, the reason it was a toss up between green and red, which is what was the colors again. Green was
Booker's.
and
Red
red
was Makers.
No. Green and blue. Old Forester. It was a toss up because
So I Whiskey She Wines, green, black, blue.
so he likes.
We're on the same page. I said green, black, and we go off on
So he's
three.
a Booker's, Barrel, Rare Breed, and Old Forester. I think that at the end of the day, you and I said the most, Sean. The blue, which is Old Forester, 1910. Man, it was well rounded. Like it was
2
approachable.
weeks ago when Jason took us through it, I really liked that bottle. It was close number 2 to the Rare Breed.
And Old
It's a good
Forester,
bottle.
it's only 46.5%.
But it drinks like 30.
That
you're
was
right.
what kind of stood out for me when we were doing the neat. Was you took a sip of it and you were like, oh, I can just sit here and drink this one. Like there was nothing about it that was it was just very good whiskey, and I mean it wasn't layered with complexity, but sometimes that's all right. You just want to have a glass and drink it and enjoy it.
So Turkey. He put 1910 and
Wild Turkey, Booker's, Makers.
Mood to Move says Rare Breed. Yeah, personal.
I think there's some other Elijah Craigs that we could try that would
Oh
be
yeah, I think you're absolutely. I know that. I know you're right because when we were in Kansas City,
much better.
Scott from Test Dummies, he put an Elijah Craig, at fucking good bottle of whiskey, right?
Yeah, that was
I don't
really
care
good.
if you call it bourbon. And I was like, I want the bottle, and he's like, that ain't happening, brother.
So at the end of the day, Mark, let me ask you this question: as a person that when we talked about this a year ago, doing some bourbon stuff, we're like, you were the most hesitant in knowing that you've had some bourbon 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and tonight's bourbon blind. What do you think about bourbon right now? Will you start buying some bottles? That's the key. Will you buy a bottle?
Yes, I'm gonna start buying bottles because I'm intrigued, right? So the lure is starting to get set. The hook is getting. I honestly think right now I don't know enough. We talked about it in the pre-show. One of our pre-show patrons, Steve A, had mentioned when you don't have enough knowledge at the bottom of your base and you're starting. You guys heard me talk about it. I'm like, I think what I smell is rye. I don't know that. I need to educate my senses towards what is reality. In other words, when I smell something, I need to know what I'm smelling is this as opposed to what I think it is. This was fun. I got to be honest. I enjoy the fact that it's not all as corny as it was to me a month ago.
It's a true statement from us.
Seriously,
Yes.
I'm saying that. Honestly, a month ago, you guys asked me, "Hey, man, I have a bourbon." I'm like, "Oh, I have a bottle of corn. Thanks, man. You guys are great." But no, there is a variety. It's just I need to understand how to splice out the differences between the two. So
Sure, Tom.
It's fun. It was fun. And yes, of course, I'm going to get into this a little bit more. And I want to experiment. And I do want a couple of good bourbons on my bar. I want a couple that that I can say, I got this hell of a selection of Scotch, but you want a good bourbon? I got a good bourbon. And I know it's a good bourbon, right? I'm not.
You make an interesting point. It's like we have done enough Scotch now that there's a foundation of information about when you look for things that you can anticipate buying for.
Sure.
Whereas bourbon, you're out of this picture because you know bourbon. Us, we're like going, I don't know enough about it that weren't buying it. Whereas I feel like now the door's been open, and I feel like, okay, let's experiment a little bit and buy some. Especially when you're talking about this bottle, which is the Old Forester 1910, and this Rare Breed. I mean, honestly, I could see myself pouring both those bottles every night. Even Elijah, Maker's Mark, was great. Even Elijah Craig was pretty good. None of these were bad.
There was none of these that I would say, I can't drink that. And I've had some Scotches that I've said that.
No, but if we were gaming one night and I said, hey, what do you want to pour? If you had either one of these bottles at your bar, you're going to pour it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
that's good.
There we go. We got
Progress.
another super chat here. Greg Lewis, absolutely nothing bad with expanding your horizon. It's all good. Thank you, sir.
We're trying, brother.
Cheers.
We are trying, man.
I'm gonna grab this green, guys. It's been a fun night.
It has been.
Thank you also for hanging with us.
We're off next week.
That's right.
We are off next week, so we will see you in 2 weeks, where we will be revisiting bourbons with Jason from Mash.
Some new stuff.
Nice.
Some of his samples that he sent to us.
Hopefully, Sean will be here.
Yeah,
yes,
I should be here.
This
I
guy
should be
should
here.
be here.
It's good having you back, brother.
Hopefully,
Nice
everybody
meeting.
comes back with 10 fingers, 10 toes, 2 eyes, and 1 nose. Don't blow anything off, but blow anything up you want. Happy 4th, guys.
Happy 4th.
Happy 4th.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you
Cheers,
guys in a
guys.
couple weeks. Cheers.
Cheers to you all.
3, 2, 1.